Hi, everybody. Welcome to Better Utah Broadcast. This is Katie Matheson. I'm the Communications Director here at Alliance for Better Utah. We have Lauren Simpson, Policy Director, and Kelsey, Legislative Intern, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And I swear the size difference isn't this big between us. I'm
very
just
tiny
sitting right next to the computer. So we're just going to give you guys kind of an update of what's going on. I haven't really been up here recently. So Lauren and Kelsey, what's going on since last week?
Man, since last week. So this morning, a House committee passed Representative Acton's abortion ban bill. This bill would ban abortions at 18 weeks. The current standard is viability, which, as a lot of lawmakers pointed out, is a better standard because it's more flexible and it allows for more adaptation. You know, if we get new science, I guess.
New technology.
Yeah. If we learn more information about fetal development.
And right now, viability is kind of determined by your doctor, but it's generally around 24 to 26 weeks.
It's around 20 to 22 weeks.
Oh. My
That's
doctor
what I
said
said.
something different.
Oh, well, what did your doctor say?
My doctor said 24 weeks when I had my babies.
Okay.
But viability basically means a baby is able to survive outside the womb,
Yes.
right, without any kind of help. So that's what, when people say viability, it's a medical term,
that's what
it means. Yeah. So go ahead, continue.
So it passed committee, which, because we live in Utah, is not that surprising. What is interesting is that it passed 7-5. So 2 Republicans joined Democrats in voting against it. And some of the reasons they voted against it are because this bill, unlike Representative Lisby's bill that kind of had a trigger clause, which means we're going to pass this, but it's not going to go into effect right now unless the Supreme Court
Unless it becomes legal, because right now it's illegal.
Right. This bill does not have that, so you're pretty much guaranteeing that, like, we are going to challenge Roe v. Wade in court. The Utah legislature tried this in the 90s. It was struck down. It cost $1 million then. Estimates now are it will cost $1 to $3 million. So even though the bill didn't have it had a $0 fiscal bill, we're basically committing to spend up to $3 million challenging this in court.
Right, as you go up to the Supreme Court, right? Yeah. Okay. So that doesn't sound like a great use of taxpayer dollars in our minds, does it?
No. And there are so many better ways to reduce abortion.
Mm-hmm. So, well, here's the question. Does making abortion illegal or inaccessible stop abortions?
Absolutely not. Yeah. And there are a bunch of studies out there on it. So abortion restrictions don't necessarily reduce the overall number of abortions, but they are linked to more unsafe abortions.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like an at-home procedure or going to somebody who's not a physician, who is not qualified. So they result in procedures that are way more dangerous and harmful to women. And meanwhile, we know there's data out there on the reasons why women get abortions, and so there are absolutely ways that you can reduce abortion without triggering a constitutional challenge. And those are things like sex education, which Utah really needs to update its sex education curriculum. I didn't take that in Utah. I was living in Tennessee at the time. There's probably not great either.
Tennessee, the bastion of liberalism.
Yeah. So I don't have personal experience with sex ed in Utah, but their studies show that comprehensive sex education and getting women contraceptives, especially long-lasting contraceptives like IUDs. There's studies or there's research out there that shows like IUDs are the number one most effective thing at reducing abortions.
Colorado did something like that. They made IUDs super low cost or free for women, I think for teenagers and for just in general. And they saw it was something like a 60% reduction in abortion. And in 1 year, they estimated they saved $7 million on social services for women who otherwise would have had babies. So just stopping the pregnancy before it even starts.
Yeah, preventing unplanned pregnancies. Like, don't stop at abortion.
Right,
like, get to the root of the problem.
Right. So stuff like that. I mean, we are pro-family. We want families and women to be safe and be healthy and to be able to start families when they want. And so, you know, if we've got $3 million that we've got sitting around and we're itching to spend, let's spend it on, you know, these things that will actually stop abortions and to keep women safe.
Totally. Right. We can spend it on cleaning up the air in the Salt Lake Valley because now we have new data, new research that shows that is linked to higher miscarriages.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, let's protect those unborn children and women and everybody.
Right. And I mean, like the children who are walking around right now breathing in this air, there was a study that came out a while ago that showed that people in the Salt Lake Valley have higher instances of weird lung cancers than other states. And all controls aside, they think that it's related to our air quality. So people are dying from this air. Now, granted, it's not necessarily when the children are young, it's when they get older. But still, I mean, if we, like, that's a great way to invest money.
Yeah. And there are lots of other data-backed suggestions of things that you can do to reduce abortion, make sure that moms and kids and dads are healthy.
Yeah, dads.
So
we like dads.
We love dads too.
That's right. Okay, great. So, Kelsey, anything you want to talk about?
Abortion rates are the lowest they've been since the passage of Roe v. Wade, and I think that's an important acknowledgement that a lot of people are not addressing. And also, growing up in Utah, I was taught abstinence only. Graduated high school in 2015, so as of 2015, it was still abstinence only. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure if it still is.
I think that it is.
College level courses that I took as concurrent enrollment in high school, actually in anatomy and physiology, like an upper division college course, I will never forget the teacher had leaves, like Adam and Eve style leaves, covering reproductive organs in an anatomy and physiology college level course in Utah. So that's definitely something that needs to be addressed.
Wow. Okay.
If we genuinely care about lowering these risks for mothers and unwanted pregnancies and termination of pregnancies, and start there.
Yeah. What other bills are we following, Lauren?
The hate crimes bill is getting a committee hearing tomorrow.
All right.
Which everyone, including the sponsor, did not think it was going to happen. So it was a big deal that it even got a committee.
And the Trib article about that, or is it the Trib? It was one of the articles about it. There's just a picture of Thatcher standing there,
like thumbs up. Yeah,
we did it. That's great. Okay, so and they've added a lot of stuff to that bill, right? A lot of protected classes or something like that.
I've heard that. I have not had the time to look at the updated language.
Okay.
So,
alrighty, so that's happening tomorrow morning. And then what happened with this radioactive waste bill that HEAL is following, and we're just kind of like passively following? How did that go today in committee, or no, on the Senate floor?
Yeah. So for a bill to pass the House, it only needs one vote from the full House. For a bill to pass the Senate, it needs 2 votes from the full Senate. So it passed the first of those votes. So it still hasn't passed the Senate yet. It still needs one more vote, but it was debated and voted on today for the first time.
And what was that debate like?
I mean, it's radioactive waste. So on the one hand, you know, there's just a lot of conflicting opinions over, oh, this is really safe, we don't need to worry about it, and it's not going to become dangerous for a really long time. On the other hand, people are worried about the environmental impacts of this, and they're worried about us. I mean, Utah has a long history with Energy Solutions, which is the company that will stand to benefit from this. And so this is kind of just another favor to Energy Solutions.
Okay.
So people are concerned about that. But it passed for the first time. And Todd Weiler voted with the Democrats to vote no. While Gene Davis voted with the Democrats to vote yes.
Man, those 2 senators, they always keep us guessing, don't they? You never know until the last minute.
Keep you on your toes.
Super bipartisan, as Todd Weiler told us today on Twitter.
Was he snarking?
No, it wasn't snarky. He was like, it was a love fest.
Oh, that's great.
Thanks, Todd. Okay, what else? What else are we doing today? Anything else?
What committee meetings do we have in the afternoon? Anything interesting?
We've got
We've got an intern behind the scenes figuring it out.
We have the Susan Duckworth's hygiene tax bill will be heard in committee. She's trying to run that one for a few years. So far, it has not gone very far, but we'll see what happens.
the Hygiene Tax Act.
Yes,
Right.
so that would subsidize, that would remove the state sales tax on tampons, pads, adult incontinence items, and diapers. So
Oh yeah,
It's
diapers
not
are
just-
expensive, man.
Yeah, so it's not just a women's issue. But
Diapers are very
that's
expensive.
I think that's an awesome bill.
All right, so anything more before we close up? Did you guys, make sure if you haven't read it, we put it on our Facebook page, make sure that you read Ben Wood's article in the Tribune from earlier today about the 9 legislators who were less popular in their district than Prop 3 was. So check that
Who all
out.
voted against.
Who
Prop
all
3.
voted against Prop 3.
They voted for the repeal.
Right, so they got less of the vote margin than Prop 3 did in their districts, and they all, for some reason, decided that the logical next step was to vote against what more of their constituents wanted. So just read that and keep it in the back of your mind as you continue forward, and be sure to use our, what is it called? Remind Me 2020. It's ironic that I can't remember the name of Remind Me 2020 tool, where you can just basically, every time an elected official does something that you want to remember during the election season, if it fuels you in any way, you can put it in there and we will send it back to you in your own words next year. So you can go, oh man, I remember there was something that was problematic for me about my legislator, and then you get this email and it was like, that's why, that's what they did. So in your own words, we will remind you. Anything else? Thanks, Chris. Thanks for the happy words. Anything else before we go?
I think that's all we got.
Bernie announced, Elizabeth Warren announced. There are almost as many Democratic candidates for president as there are for county council seats.
That is true.
So anyway, all right, everybody, we will see you next week. Bye.
Bye.